right from the 1960s, when Nigeria got its independence, the first coup, corruption was mentioned.
As in, how can the people now contribute in this fight against corruption?
When you look at it, fighting of corruption is not one man business. It's a teamwork. It's a teamwork. If we can come together and fight corruption, we can bury everything overnight.
As a citizen of Nigeria,
what can be done to make the society better? You know, as a woman here, you know, as a mother.
The society doesn't want to give these women opportunities because they think these women can come and dominate the role men play in the society.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the program, The Advocate. My name is Jack Vincent Fidelis and I'm your host. On the program today, we deliberate on issues of anti-corruption and accountability in governance. I have my guest, Abdulkareem Haruna. He is the regional editor Northeast of the Premium Times. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
What do you think is the relationship between the print and broadcast media and the government?
Thank you very much. The print or the media, let me say generally, functions as a means of information dissemination to members of the public, and principally the media covers government activities, whether at the national level, the state, or even the local government level. There is no gain overemphasizing the relationship that exists between the media and government, because the two cannot function without the other. Because the government is to serve the people, and the media is out there to echo the activities of government, watch the activity of government, and take government to task on issues of development policies and so on.
So, having said that, sir, you said take government to task, and then it caught my interest for the simple fact that is the government, is the media now reporting corruption cases against the government. In your capacity as the regional editor Premium Times, do you think the media in Nigeria is effectively covering corruption cases as it involves the government?
When you say effectively, we are talking about almost perfectly. The media, there is still a lot that needs to be done in the area of corruption reporting, especially in public or public officials or government. In the past, it was really a very difficult thing for the media to report corruption, based on the fact that there are a lot of challenges. There are zero capacity in most cases. The issue of intimidation, harassment, and so on. And it is really very difficult. And reporting corruption revolves around investigation, because the government will not come and expose its corrupt deals to you. You have to go and find out what is happening. But if you look at it in this democratic dispensation, in the recent years, there is this a bit of development, improvement in the area of corruption coverage, even though there are a lot that needs to be done. But if you look at it, with the advent of the internet and the social media and so on, the media has to start standing on its feet to see that it does the right thing. Look at the issue of the Panama Papers of Premium Times that has brought a lot of issues, even though a lot have not been addressed and so on. If you look at media exposing government with fake documentation and so on that leads to even sack of people and so on. I think the media is still trying to get it fit in the area of corruption coverage, but I think it's not a bad journey so far. We are still trying to get out of it, but as I said, it still boils around the issue of capacity to do so.
Of the media?
Yeah, of the media.
Okay. Now, Nigerians are concerned. Nigerians feel strongly that brown envelope journalism has a place in all of these things we are discussing. Are there instances where the capacity of the media to report corruption cases are impeded by brown envelope?
Well, that will take us to the issue of the welfare of the journalist.
Okay.
It will be as if one is playing the ostrich, trying to pretend that that
doesn't exist.
It does exist. But you see, if we really want to strengthen the media to do its corruption monitoring and reporting and exposure of corrupt officials, then you need to, one, put a lot of premium on the issue of staff welfare. I work in the Premium Times, for example, for Premium Times now, and I'm lucky that there are a lot of my welfare is being taken care of very well. But I have also worked in other media organizations whereby they don't even place the staff welfare as any serious issue. When you just get your ID card, you just asked to go and fend for yourself and so on. But you should know that the journalist you are talking to about is a human being that needs to survive. And that actually is affecting the way and manner you are going to relate with people in government. In a situation where even if you are not taking the bright envelope, let's assume you are getting patronage in terms of the advertisement.
And that too can
affect
your
editorial responsibility, your reportage. It will kind of taint whatever ethic you think you have in doing your report. Right. So, brown envelope is not even the brown envelope that the little money maybe journalists collect at assignment, but what about the big ones? What about the corporate brown envelope, whereby a big media house gets a very big patronage from the government? Even when the reporter is trying to do the right thing, maybe somewhere up there we say, no,
the gatekeepers.
You can't touch this man. You can't touch this organization. Why? Because they are our big financial supporter in terms of maybe advertisement, corporate censorship. That's what we call corporate censorship. So it's a really big issue. But if we are to fight corruption, then the media must be independent. The journalists must be financially independent.
If not,
they are not really doing anything serious about it.
All right, and then, in case you're just joining us, viewer, the program is The Advocates, a program designed to deliberate on issues of anti-corruption and accountability in governance. My guest is Mr. Abdulkareem Haruna. He is the editor Northeast of the Premium Times. Now, from everything you've said, I want to ask quickly, what can the media do? Or better still, how can the media fight corruption?
First and foremost, we need to improve capacity of journalists
to report.
Okay. That is, they should understand even the issue of reporting corruption. And
any kind of special training?
Yes, there should be special training for a journalist. A journalist must understand what is budget implementation. A journalist will have the capacity to follow up on commitment or pronouncement or pledges made by people in government. When somebody said, I am going to build so thing, we are included in the budget. A journalist should be able to go and find out that, okay, was that project mentioned before? If it was not, okay, I'm going to monitor this particular borehole project in so place. And at the end of the day, the journalist should be able to go and find out if it's okay, we build health center in community A. It's not easy, but just take a time, just stroll down to community A or try down there and find where is that health center. you take people to task.
That is it.
That's it. So journalists should be able to, the media also should be able to, within themselves, improve the welfare of journalists. And also, if a journalist is doing an investigative reporting on a certain corrupt issue, he should be well funded.
By who?
By the media.
Okay.
By the media, not anybody, by the media. The media should have the capacity
To do so.
to do so.
And if it doesn't have that capacity, then there's a problem.
There's a problem because you cannot fight corruption. When you're hungry, or when you don't have the capacity to even go to that place to verify.
Yeah.
No, you cannot even stand before. Okay.
Such a person can be easily influenced, I guess.
Of course. Of course. It's not every journalist. We still have good journalists that despite all these problems, but despite all these attractions around his beat, they still do their job.
So how can you as a journalist hold the government accountable to the masses?
Yeah, by first and foremost reporting objectively, reporting correctly or whole truths, and you should also be the voice and the eyes of the masses. I say being the voice of the masses is that when the government said this is what we are doing, as a journalist, you should be able to fact check. Because the masses may not have the capacity, but you are trained to do so. Because that's what being the watchdog of the society. And then promoting integrity. One of the integrity in governance is that there's a lot of cynicism today about government. When government is going to do this, what's that? When a journalist says, I'm reporting this, by the time they call you aside, you forget about this thing. But if we can continue, promote the issue of integrity, that, okay, look, in government, we see this is the right thing to do. In government, this person is doing this thing right. In government, this journalist has the capacity to report this, no matter what it takes. Build the confidence of the people. You as a journalist, because if you can build the confidence in people that says you can do it, you can report it. For example, now, I'm not trying to brag, but if a certain issue is mentioned in the political setting or of this country, there's a development, people want to say, okay, has Premium Times reported it?
Yeah.
Why? Because
credibility.
That's credibility. A certain reporter will say, okay, if it's a reporter that is known for doing his job right, being a good journalist, if he reports anything, people believe in him. So you see that by so doing, people develop confidence in you, and you should also have the capacity to use the Freedom of Information bill to.
We will talk more about this Freedom of Information bill when we come back from the break.
Right from the 1960s, when Nigeria got its independence, the first coup, corruption was mentioned.
As in, how can the people now contribute in this fight against corruption?
When you look at it, fighting of corruption is not one man business. It's a teamwork. It's a teamwork. If we can come together and fight corruption, we can bury everything overnight.
As a citizen of Nigeria,
What can be done to make the society better? As a woman here, as a mother.
The society doesn't want to give these women opportunities because they think these women can come and dominate the role men play in the society.
You are welcome back. Earlier we were talking about the Freedom of Information Bill. Probably you want to give our viewer some more information about that bill.
Yeah, the Freedom of Information Bill is a tool that it's a legislation that has been enacted by the National Assembly. Yeah. I think on 28 May 2011. So about almost 10 years now to help people get access to public information. And though it's not everybody's business, going after information, but I think principally those in the media, journalists that are reporting on issues, that are seeking for data, of information about certain government agency, organization,
should have
access. And that tool, unfortunately, is still not working very well. Not that it's not working, but most journalists do not really understand the application of this the law, and in some of the cases where people even applied, I think they need to write. Now, you can go to an organization and ask that you need this information. If they are insisting that no, they are not giving get clearance, you can also apply the Freedom of Information Act as, okay, this law requires that I should get this information. You write to the organization quoting that law so that they will respond to it. But unfortunately, we have cases of many big, even federal government organizations
who refuse,
who will not even respond. I think some of the media, I think online premium, and I think at the point, some are even naming and shaming.
Shouldn't there be a legislation of sorts to not only name and shame these people, but prosecute them?
Of course, I think there should be, but even the law itself is already a legislation that says, okay, you must do this.
You must do it.
And I believe there is a consequence for not doing it. But unfortunately, people don't really respond. It's really frustrating. And also, if you are, there are different kind of investigation. There are short-term investigation. There are long-time investigation. For example, now there's an incident now, maybe about Lassa fever, and I go to the Ministry of Information seeking to find out data about what is happening and so on. And you see, the process of how to apply, wait for maybe the PAMSEC to pass it across to the commissioner, and the body gets to me, may not meet my immediate demand to quickly publish
the story.
That's true. I think that's one of the challenges, but we still have it as a very powerful tool to get information.
All right. And then, like you said, if that is giving a problem to the story coming out on time, which is what makes it news, a feature can be written for print,
of course, yes.
and so on. And now I want us to talk about the global index as it relates to freedom of the press. So, what do you? Where would you place Nigeria?
Well, I don't have data immediately.
Yeah, I understand that. But do you think Nigeria is doing very well?
Well, I'm not sure we are really doing very well. I'm not sure we are on the scale of say average to say that okay, done so. I think there is still a lot that needs to be done because freedom of the press entails that if I write or if I report, nobody should go after me.
As a result,
nobody should arrest me. But today we are still hearing about journalists being arrested, being taken into custody, being taken by soldiers and so on. We have recent cases. Even I think last month, a reporter here in Borno State was taken by soldiers because of the way he was reporting and so on. And it really traumatizes not only that journalists that have been taken, but also we that are in the field. It's a kind of maybe try to browbeat you to say that if you do so, the same thing will be meted on you. But I think there is a lot of that needs to be done. But some people say, Nigerian press is free and so on. Yes, freedom should be absolute. Freedom should be total. Let us do our thing. As long as we are doing it within the confines of the law, of the ethic of the profession. But these days, it's either you are getting censorship from outside corporate censorship, and which will now boils down up to and meet you down as somebody in the organization telling that, look, we are doing too much. We have to be very careful with these people.
This conversation cannot be complete without mentioning the names of journalists like Jones Ibiri, and then Abba Jalingo, and other names. Now, these challenges that they face, do you see journalists subsequently surmounting these challenges?
Yeah, I think we are going to surmount it sometime. It's a matter of being consistent and being telling that, look, this is a journalist's job is
to report
by the law. that there should be freedom of information.
Yeah.
So what we are doing is really the confines of the law that guides law of this country. That our job should be free.
That is it.
Media should be pluralized. Media should be free. Media should not be gagged and so on. People should understand this. And I think it's sad that somebody like Abdulkareem who is just trying to take government to account on the issue of development in the state, that he was covering should be tagged with terrorists and so on. It's really unfortunate. Though he's released, but
that's a way of trying to get him.
Yeah, gag, but it's gagging, and it's not that I'm saying that it's a kind of psychological intimidation.
Yeah.
Because okay, don't try us. You know what happens to that journalist. You know what happened to Samuel of Premium Times. You know what happened to so person, Tunji of this thing, or of Trust recently. It can happen to you. Even if you are saying that, no, I'm going to still do my job. Maybe somewhere your wife, because I know I don't want a problem, or please be soft on these people, you know. So it's not really healthy for us to have those in authority kind of trying to intimidate journalists, harass journalists. It's really unfortunate. I think we should go beyond this level of relationship.
I must thank you very much. Thank you very much for your contributions. Viewer, in case you are just joining us, the program is still The Advocate. On The Advocate, we deliberate on issues of anti-corruption. We also deliberate on issues of corruption in governance. My guest is no other person but the Northeast editor of the Premium Times, Mr. Abdulkareem Haruna. Mr. Abdulkareem has been doing very well, and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
You see, there are names in Nigeria, people like Marshal Harry, you will recall, not just Marshal Harry, people like the journalist James Bagauda Kalcho, and several other people who have died in the course of doing their job, and then whose cases have still not been resolved. What's your take on this?
Well, I think it even goes beyond that. We see a lot of other cases of journalists either missing or killed and so on. Up to today, as big as it was, the issue of Delegua, you see find people talking about who killed Delegua and so on.
After all these things?
Yes. In Nigeria, I think we have to develop a system whereby we follow up on cases like this. And our security too should. I used to watch a program on the TV, I think one of these international TVs, called Closed File. Closed File.
Yeah. Like reopening.
Open it, and you see somebody, a man of 70, is being jailed, sent to jail for the crime he committed when he was about 40 years ago. No, we shouldn't. Who should in Nigeria? Who should do this? Is it not the responsibility of the journalist? Yes, the journalist should investigate it, and the security too should have that. No,
I'm taking you up on that stuff you said about these cases should not be allowed to just die like that. Somebody should resurrect them.
Yeah.
And I feel strongly that it is the responsibility of the journalist to do so.
Yeah. You know, at times we say journalists, we are our own undoing. It's like we really de-emphasize about the issues that concern our profession, our colleagues. And you see us still talking about Abacha load and so on and so forth. But nobody is talking about even recent cases. Even if a journalist is jailed wrongly and is later released, we shouldn't let it to die. But you know, we have this challenge of, okay, we just forget about it. When Abdulkareem was arrested and on false accusation or so on, I'm surprised by his colleague in that state are still reporting the state. They do their job as if it's a normal thing. Nobody really cares. The guy is there fighting for himself and so on. Even here, I think when our colleague was arrested, and we told the military that very day, they said that they have an assignment. We said, no, they're not covering an assignment, please. You can't be keeping our colleague in detention, you'll be thinking about it. And they respected that. And that facilitated his release immediately. He didn't sleep there. But we need to take it beyond this. Now, the way and manner we treat cases like this reflect how we also treat other cases. If, for example, a government, a president has done badly in the past, and a new president came and is doing a bit worse than that one, we shouldn't glorify that of the past. We shouldn't forgive that one of his crime. The investigation, the reporting should be sustained, but unfortunately,
that's not the case. I must thank you, and I must quote you there because of time. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming to the program. It's obvious you have to come back to this program. Yeah. Because we've not exhausted all. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
That is the much we can take on the program The Advocate for this week. If you've had a great time being with us, why not do it again? Same time, same station next week. Until then, so long.